All right, we do have George Williams now with us. He's a man who's worked with the Drug Enforcement Agency, former special agent George Williams. And, you know, rather than stop the drugs, there's now a fentanyl vaccine in the works. Here in New York City, they have vending machines where you can get Narcan, but they also have syringes in there. George, do you think the legalization of drugs is helping this situation that we're in right now? Because a lot of people, they think, oh, I'm just getting a little Xanax or I'm getting a little marijuana and have no idea that it's laced with fentanyl, and then they don't wake up.
No, I don't think it reminds me of methadone. Okay, you remember during the heroin surge in the 70s? I was a special agent in New York, and we had an epidemic of heroin, and they would give methadone. Methadone is a drug, and it caused a lot of folks to go on heroin. So I don't think this is going to do any good. We have to stop it, and we have to declare, like Governor DeSantis said, a national emergency, and we have to take action against China and Mexico, and that's what former President Trump did. So no, that is not going to help. It reminds me of the 70s with the heroin and methadone epidemic.
That is a great point there. Mark, you were also the former San Diego police officer. We're seeing what's happening to San Francisco. We're seeing Chicago, Philadelphia. It's like the Walking Dead. Then there's this new drug, Trank. Law enforcement, it seems like their hands are also tied, because I see it here in New York City that you can literally put a needle in your arm and the cops can't even arrest you.
It's unbelievable. Here in California, we have something called Prop 47, which essentially allows open drug use in the street. But the big question I have here is, what kind of message are we sending to our children when we say, hey, now there's a vaccine for opioids? You know, Narcan oftentimes is referred to by some teens as a designated driver. What do you mean? What I mean by designated driver? Kids now carry Narcan with them, and they say, I'm the designated driver. If somebody in the party should overdose, I will use the Narcan to revive them. So by creating a vaccine, what are we going to do now? We're going to mandate it in schools. We're going to say your kids now have to be vaccinated for opioids. This is not the right message to send to kids. It's not the right message to send to Americans. This is a problem that we need to stop. We need to stop it at the border, and we need to impose a national drug awareness education campaign in all of our schools, similar to what they did when they have equity and diversity embedded right in the curriculum. We have to do that with drugs, because drugs kill kids.
And I remember, I'm old enough to remember when Nancy Reagan said, just say no to drugs, and now they want to make all drugs legal, and here's a vaccine, and here's something you can squirt up your nose in case you overdose. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. It starts at the top right there with President Biden. George Williams, Mark Powell, and Betsy, you'll be back with us. Thank you all for joining us this afternoon.